Hey, welcome to Lesson 6, Creating and Editing Set Files. A set file is the file that you would use in flashcards or in practice. And as you can see from my integrated lesson plan, the target goes here and then a snapshot of our activities here. So I'm going to show you first the fast way, how to do it from a table, from a spreadsheet, and then using difficulty levels, changing those, and why, and then editing, and then finally some options. I'm estimating about 12-minute lesson. Okay, so here we go. The first thing we'll do is go to planning and then click on create, edit, set file. Now in this utility, we have a spot here to paste text curriculum from a variety of sources. So the fast way is to get it from whatever source you've got and just copy it and paste it in here. Otherwise, you could type out, item 1 and then, tab, and then maybe here would be the answer. And, but I don't want to do a lot of typing, so I'm going to do some copying and some pasting. So then I will import it into this area down here, and it will pick up whatever extra information that we are attaching to each card from this area. Now, this extra information is used to do sorting in your course set file. So currently this is a blank slate. There is no course set file. You can see there's no items in there. And we are going to start from scratch. So first off, I've got a Word file that's kind of a fun little thing about the United States presidents. So I've got all their names and some information about them that's kind of interesting. And it's in a tab delimited format. So if I click this show hide button, I can see where there's an arrow there. That represents a tab. And so if you're going to create these in Word, just make sure that you have it separated. Here's the question separated by the answer, which can be reversed, of course, and then you've got your tab. So all I've got to do is copy this. All right, so I'm going to copy all this information from this source, as you would with other sources that you have for your curriculum. Perhaps you have some items already made. Okay, so then I'm going to come back here, and I'm just going to paste it, right-click paste, and here they all are. Now, you could edit it in here as well before you import it. But before we import it, let's add some information. So this is going to be for, I'm going to call this unit history. You see the story, and make this lesson the intro lesson or something. Yeah, it's a good fun way to start out your U.S. history class, maybe. And then you can use a custom ID, anything you want. Maybe I might choose something like I'm going to use this for flashcards. How are you going to use it? And then you can assign a default difficulty to all of these. And so maybe I'll put them all in as hard, and of course you can go back later, and if some of them are easy or medium or difficult, you could change them later. But as a default, I'll bring them all in as hard. Now, when I import these right here, it'll bring it all in. And as you can see, there are 0 errors. Okay? So I'm going to scroll down, and you can see I've got all this custom information added to each card. Again, this custom information is going to be used as filters to creating sets from your course set file. All right, so this is one way to bring them in. I'm going to clear both the top and the bottom right now, and I'm going to show you another way. And let's say you've got information you found online, like, for example, SAT. Maybe you want to do an SAT prep, and I've got all these definitions here. of words that are used in SAT tests. And I think I'm going to select them. Now, of course, you can just click and drag. Now, this particular site, I can't drag down. I'm going to have to pick up a third column, but that's okay. And, the fastest way, of course, is like 200 and something. Boy, that's a lot of terms. And I'm just going to hold down my shift key and click at the end. I just selected it all. Of course, you can click and drag and select them all. All right, so now I'm going to copy that, or Control C, and go back to Class Quiver. And let's see what would happen if I try to bring this in. All right, so I'm going to paste it. And as you can see, it does not look tab delimited. So the table formatting for that website is not good. Watch what happens when I import it. I'm only going to have one column. So, this should have been over here under answer. So I'm going to clear that. I'm going to clear this as well. And it looks like I'm going to have to take a second step. So for that, don't want my email. I want to go to Word. Where's my Word file? Right here. How about a blank Word file? Now I'm going to paste that stuff right into here. And if I paste it in, if I just do a straight paste, Control V, it comes in a table format with 3 columns, just like we saw on the website, which is great. And I think I'm just going to select the first 2 columns because I don't want the third. See, in Word, you can select that way, which is really nice. All right, so I'm going to copy that. I come back to Class Quiver, and I'm going to paste it into here. And let's see if it works. I mean, he's got these weird lines in here. That's okay. We'll just import it. And sure enough, it says there are 262 errors or lines with too many tabs. So that probably is because of the third column, but that's all right. Now, look, it worked, and it worked great. Now, you might have noticed I forgot to change my data here. So this might be a whole different unit. I'm going to call this one SAT Prep. And I'm going to make this maybe a medium, lesson 1. Oops, that's exclamation mark 1. And again, I'll use it in flashcards. Now it's medium. I can fix this after effect by just going like here, fill. So I just fill the first 4 columns with that new information because I forgot to change it. Okay, and it's just a matter of saving it from here. Now, it's interesting to note that you could have done the same thing from Excel. So if I had come in here and I had pasted all of that information, here it is in 2 columns, right? And you get the idea. I could have done a copy and a paste from here as well. But interesting thing about Excel is you can save it as a how about put it there? But I just want to show you could save it as a tab delimited text. So it'll put a tab between each column of data. So if you're having trouble getting into, you could take your Excel files and do it that way. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. Get this out of the way. Get this out of all my demonstration files are out of the way. What I could do now is I could just save as. And let's just give it a name. And notice where it goes. It goes to your courses folder. And inside there, this is the demonstration course. So that's the default location. And I'll just, looks like I've already done it once before. So I will save it here and replace it. That's great. Now, if you want to do editing, if you want to do editing up in here, of course, you have to do so before you import it, or you could do it up here, clear down below, and then import it again. Or you could make changes, right in here. Maybe I don't want this to be capitalized, so you just make your changes right in here, whatever you type, and then of course if you save, it'll just save right over that previous file that you created. Now, there's some other nice little features in here. And you may find that, oh, there's a series of words that I don't want in here. I don't know. Maybe it's these. I'm going to select these four. Say, gee, I just don't want those. Now, there's two things you could do. You could just delete it, right click delete, and that would just remove the information that is in those cells. But if you want to remove them altogether, we need to check them. So you can also just check them and then delete the checked lines, and now they are gone. And did it renumber them? As you can see, it's not renumbered. Now, I left it this way because I recognize that some of these numbers might match your textbook numbering, and so you might want to keep the original numbering. But if you want to, you can renumber them. At any rate, this is the order that would be presented if you chose a sequential showing. Now, you can also move these around. If the sequence is going to be important, right now it's all alphabetized, right? But um, I am going to say check this one and say, this one should be first. So I could just use my move up button. And as you can see, it is moving up. Now it's the first item sequence. Again, retaining the original number, but if you want to renumber, you can. Now you could do this even with a group of them. So let's say I want to move all 5 of these. I can move all 5 together. 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see, 6 through 10 are there, and here's now 1 through 5 that moved up there. And that is how you can edit this. Some nice tools for editing your sets. Now, moving on to options is look at the bottom here. So if you want this to be your current Flash file, I can set that. I can even use it as my current practice file. And I'm also going to want to add this to my course file. So if I have a course that's got lots of sets, they just accumulate in one file that you could sort using this sortable information and create new sets in that way. And that would be, I think, in lesson 8. So stay tuned if that's something you want to do. But I would recommend that you add it to the XML file each time you save. So there, I'm going to save. I just added 258 lines. Looks like those 4 lines I deleted were, that was the case. Okay, now I can close this and let's just see what happened. It should be my flashcard file, so I click on this and let's just see it full screen. And yeah, there are my words and their definitions, and as you can see, they're coming in sequentially. And by the way, when you do choose sequentially, you can always choose to start over. Otherwise, it picks up where you left off, maybe the day before you left off. So I'm going to start over. And notice I forgot to renumber them, but that's okay. Let's see what practice looks like, too. So come to practice. There they all are. And it looks like there's, I must have started where I left off. And so here'd be the first group. Okay, and please notice in my lesson planner that those are the 2 files. For the flashcard file, is now set to that. Practice files now set to that because I checked those boxes to set them as the current. All right, and that's it. Thank you very much.